All right, good evening, everyone. Time is 6:30, April 11th, 2023, Conservation Commission meeting. We'll move the emergency tree removal to the end. First thing, I want to go over the next meeting. It's scheduled for the 25th of April. I'm not going to be around that day.
I can't go
Kathy's
either.
not going to be around that day. Is there another day that works for that week that we can do it? Tony, what do we have for, oh, that's for the DEP one. So basically, the 26th, I don't think we want to do it on Friday, so 26th to 27th?
26th to 27th is fine.
I
with
won't
me.
be around the 26th.
So let's do it 27th? Does that work?
27th?
Thursday, the 27th?
Thursday would work, yeah.
Okay,
Thursday.
same time?
6:30? Going once, going twice? So, time? 6:30, all right.
Yeah, I got a work party to go to.
All right. Next up, discussion and possible vote on abbreviated notice of resource area delineation located at 161 North Quincy Street. They sent out an email yesterday asking to be continued to our next meeting, which is why I brought the rescheduling up first. So, someone like to make a motion to continue to the 27th of April?
I'll make a motion to continue 161 North Quincy Street, NRAD, to the next meeting, April 27th.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous.
I ask a question before you move on. Have we considered hiring a peer reviewer for that site? It might be something we want to bring up with them at the next meeting, but
Do we want to set up a site walk first and see?
I think from my concern of, the delineation and the fact that there was some filling on the property beside them that spilled over, it might make sense to get a peer reviewer on board.
And speaking of that, the abutting property 267 North Quincy, I know Andrew reached out to us about getting on that site for possible filling of wetlands over there. Tony's tried a couple times to reach out to the property owner, no luck. I think, did you send us, tomorrow you're gonna send a certified letter out? Okay,
Okay.
because that's probably gonna tie into,
To this one?
To this one,
Just,
yeah.
we might want to think about a peer reviewer that
Yep.
crosses for both. That might be the right way to go. Yeah.
all right. All right, next up, SE 084-553, discussion on project located at 154 Brockton Ave. So this project, I know at the last meeting, I touched on it. Timeline. So they originally asked to come in on the February 28th meeting for a partial certificate of compliance. Site walk was done on Friday, the 24th, right? I wasn't there, but I think that's the date. And like I said, I reached out to Tony to set up a conference call that both Tim and I attended with representatives from Mento, because I had concerns about changes in the grading, missing reports, missing paperwork documentation with regards to the orders of condition, the special orders of condition. Like I said, there were quite a bit of them that were, we were missing stuff from. And I'd also asked for them to basically discuss the issues they had and why they had to change the grading to come in on the last meeting we had on March 28th. And they said they needed to get more paperwork into us, so they continued to this meeting. The day before, when Lisa asked to continue, I said, just get somebody in here so we can discuss the grading, just to get some sort of direction of what we're gonna do, get this closed out, and they still continue to this meeting. So, here we are.
I'm the volunteer. I'm the volunteer. My name's Ken Thompson. I'm a botanist. I'm going to be a wetland scientist. on it.
Okay,
We did a site inspection today, took a look at everything. And John's response to the slope issue and everything is it's bedrock under there. You know, so it was difficult, you know, he had to blow it up or something, you know, I don't understand it. Take the guns to it, the hydraulic rams and stuff. So he just covered it. And he put the stone on there for erosion control. And he offers, if you want, he'll remove the stone and loom it and put a mat over it, seed it and mat it, if that's what you prefer. And then put it like a chain link fence across the top of it so nobody falls down it. That would be his resolution to that issue, and it's your choice on that one.
And what about the changes to the deck out back and the patio that was added?
That I can't answer to because I wasn't privy to that, but I'll get you an answer on that one. I didn't know that was an issue.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they moved some of that, the stairs and maybe the deck.
Yeah.
It's in the riverfront.
Yeah.
And we didn't account.
Well, they didn't even show a patio on the,
No, they
on the
didn't.
first plans.
No, so there's stuff on here that we didn't account for. And, you know, right now, we got a big empty bowl. It's kind of like the leftover of the foundation. And I know you tried to plant, but it failed over the winter. So we basically got a request for a partial without really having the wetlands piece resolved. There are also supposed to be 2 rows of hay bales, one at the riverfront, which would have probably solved some of their problems, knowing that the 200-foot line, they were supposed to put one there when Carl Garvey was here, he agreed to it. And then the one by they still have one by the river, which is great. But I'm pretty frustrated because it's been going on for a year. They were in a very big hurry, and the fact that they ignored our special conditions, you know, the plantings, we were supposed to go over with the botanist, who fortunately is here tonight, but we were also, you know, supposed to go over the plan with him before they planted.
And wasn't there
then
an
they ended
issue
up
with the
planting
size,
stuff
too?
that we didn't
Yes.
even know they were gonna do. So, you know, I think we're frustrated from a board perspective because you kind of ignored all our direction. I'm just trying to be very
Yep,
clear
yep, I
why we're
understand.
frustrated. We'd just like to try to get this back on track.
Yeah, 'cause I
And
mean-
make this work.
We're here to get it back on
Yeah,
track.
yeah,
Well, I
and
mean,
I'm
one of
glad
the-
you're here.
One of the conditions was any changes to be made
I understand.
was to come before us. So you can say there's bedrock there. We didn't get a chance to look at it.
Yeah, I hear, I have pictures for you.
If you get all that, you can see it, it's, yeah.
But we shouldn't have to.
No, we submit our guilt.
Can I have a-
Yeah, sure.
We'll make it right.
Probably start with Paul down there.
Yeah, start with the chairman.
This piece of bedrock right there.
Oh, thank you.
You can take it into the next video.
Yeah, I can share with her, so it's fine.
Oh, wait, this is an extra.
They're probably just stapled together or something.
Yeah, there's a bunch of pictures.
Kathy,
The second group is the invasive.
Yeah.
just in case someone comes.
What size is the riprap?
Do you want to come up and identify yourself so people at home know who we're speaking to?
Sure. Yeah. My name is Patrick Burke, I'm here with Mento Corp.
Okay, great.
So what size did you say the riprap was?
I'm not too sure, I just texted John.
Okay.
John's at another meeting.
Yeah, the riprap over by the house was the riprap that bothered me more, just because that slope is just so
It's
straight.
also in the 200-foot riverfront protection area.
No,
Yeah,
that's-
So
but it
that's
was,
a problem.
yeah, but it was very, you know, I worry about it being stable, and we usually will require,
In the
you know,
steps.
3-to-1
Wow,
slope.
7, 8.
So we didn't get that either.
I wouldn't want my kids anywhere near that. I can
7
tell
to
you
8
that.
inches, is that what he said?
That's why he's offering the fence for you.
Yeah,
Chain link
but no,
fence.
it just, that was one of the, did you guys read the order of conditions at
I
all?
was brought in late. Yes, I've read it.
You read them?
I spent a lot of time reading it.
Yeah, thank you. Because that wasn't even something that was on there. There was no mention.
I
of-
understand.
Purchased the plantings.
I did.
You did?
It was late in the season. We're gonna go get you some new plants. We're gonna go up to Bigelow's up in Northfield. They do a real nice tree. You'll be impressed. You'll like this a lot better.
So does the place where you bought the other ones from.
That's New England Wetland Plants. It's
Yeah,
over-
they do.
They're terrible.
No, they're not. I buy plants from there all the time. I've never
Really?
had issues.
Well, we're having issues now with them.
The deer like them, I think.
The deer like them. The red maples went in at 2 to 3 feet, and they're now about 8 inches tall.
So I think we had some very clear specifications of things we wanted.
Yeah.
And I think it would be really helpful if you submit a planting plan before you go out and buy and plant. You know, and if there's a change, that you let us know before.
I had
you plant.
actually submitted it to John, and you never got the last version of it.
You submitted it to John? Oh, to the,
To the applicant.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and we never got it, so
Yeah.
that's.
I have
there's a
copies
bit
of
of-
that. It's a
yeah.
517 plan, so if you want.
Is that what you're gonna basically use for when you go back out there to do the
Well,
plantings again?
I'm gonna see what comes in,
Okay.
because it's still dormant out there.
Yep,
We're gonna get through the 5 and 5, the 5 swamp wood and the 5 red maple, and just supplement to that in that area. Because down close to the wetland on the left side, it's all multiflora rose. So it's gotta be removed. I have a tree wrench, I can do that, but up in the top, there's all the different areas. That's what these next round of pictures are in that map. So like area 1's the worst. That is nothing but a tangle of bittersweet. There's some grape in there, but multiflora rose is underneath, and underneath that is nothing but garlic mustard. So that whole area has to be worked. It's going to be a nightmare. And then there's 2 other areas down next to the wetland. I call it area number 2. There's 2 multiflora in the wetland, and just adjacent to it, there's a huge patch, that 57-foot property line, all the way back is multiflora rose.
Yeah, we could see that.
That's easy enough to rip out of the ground, though, and I do have a tree wrench, because this seems to become very popular in the last 3 years, invasive control. Then I just got a few bushes up on the slope of roads when it's.
can you step into the mic more?
Okay, sure. I mumble, so you're used to it.
It's for the,
I have
for
the
the
same
people at
problem,
home,
don't
not
worry.
for, not
That's
for
fine,
here.
that's fine. I'll try to be more clear.
There was also a statement signed by the residents of Niall Street who had been promised to have evergreens.
6 evergreens and
Okay.
everything, that's all set.
Which-
So we'll do it at the same time.
Which side of the fence are those being put on theirs or?
I don't know.
According to the drawing, I think it said, the drawing that we were given, it said it was going on the 154 property.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
May I misread that.
That's the.
They would be
drawing
fine
said.
either place.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think, yeah.
If you talk to them, yeah, we were out there for for a
Yeah, I
dead tree.
thought we gave you a letter during the site inspection on that from her.
Come on,
Yeah.
they probably
Right.
have to give them special,
Right, and-
we're gonna have to give them permission to plant them over there, though.
Yeah,
I don't think she
Because-
wants them over there. That's what I gathered from
Yeah.
the sidewalk.
yeah.
don't
I
believe she
can,
wants them on
they just would
property.
like the screen of the trees.
Yep.
And then
Yeah.
they're gonna submit something to.
She doesn't want them on her property?
That's what I gathered. We had a
Okay,
site,
yeah.
yeah, she just wanted clarification. I told her I'd ask tonight, so I'm quite certain she wanted them on the fence on you
Here's
guys'
the drawing
side.
that was given to us,
Yeah,
where they're
you
supposed to be.
showed me during the
Yeah.
site inspection.
So that's
Oh,
on 154, isn't it?
I
That's
can't
fine.
tell, I can't tell.
We'll put it on 150.
I need glasses.
Yeah, well, like I said, they can't just go,
Yeah, no, we can't.
And
'cause
plan on somebody else's
on
property.
lot. Yeah,
even if
it
they,
makes
even
more
if they
sense.
want to, they'd still have to,
It makes more sense, and that gives her more room to do what she wants on the other side, yeah.
The conservation posts, the placement of the posts, particularly as it comes to the corner of the property, of the house. They actually have the conservation area posts set within the 200 and not on the 200-foot riverfront protection line. So I found that kind of strange, because here's the 200-foot riverfront protection area. If you want to come over here, Ken, I got it right here.
yeah, those right there.
Here's the 200-foot
Yeah,
line.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, and the post was set down here, when actually it's up here.
Perfect.
So it's gonna go right on the patio, pretty much. I'm just saying, that's where the conservation.
That's where you want it?
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, if I bought that house and I saw a sign sitting outside my patio, I'd be like, oh. But they said it here, which is wrong, because here's the line, from the opening of the culvert all the way across.
Yep. Okay. Can I set it closer to the property line? At the 200-foot one? Put it closer to the fence?
So long as it's on that line and they know that they're not supposed to go past there.
Yep.
Because this is all nice green lawn right now.
Yep.
So it makes it look like, oh, we can go in the yard, use that part of the yard, when in fact it's a riverfront protection area.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I don't know if we're jumping too far ahead of ourselves by talking about what those posts should look like, or, you know, we changed our regulations in terms of what posts or signs that we want
Do you
there.
have drawings that?
Well, we have the
by?
PT, there are 4x4 PTs in there right now, right?
Yeah.
So that's what we approved.
Yep.
So it's just
But we
basically
didn't-
the sign itself is what.
Yeah,
We can give him the language
have a
that
copy
we'd
of
like
that
to see
sign
on
that
the
we-
sign.
and something,
Approved it
because
last
right now it
meeting.
looks really chintzy.
Okay.
Okay.
It just looks like somebody took it and photocopied it and laminated it.
Okay.
So I think something more permanent.
Okay, that's
okay.
fine.
Oh, there was the
I think
sign,
we had it in.
Tony's gonna get a copy of it for you.
okay. So can we talk about the grading, back to the grading? Because I
Oh,
think
sure.
we've talked about the planting, and
Yeah,
I'm a little,
yeah.
I think we need to understand, I'm not necessarily seeing the ledge on this one, but I understand, you know, Massachusetts has a lot of ledge, so is it, how many borings did you do? And was it in a specific area?
I'm sorry, how many what?
Borings?
Borings? I don't know, but all I know is that is all ledge, if you go by there, we saw it today, we hammered that area, that's where the old foundation was. We had to move it where you guys wanted the new one.
So is it the leftover from the foundation that's the problem, or is it actually ledge?
Well, we can't hammer it now because the house is there.
Yeah, no, I asked a question, which
Okay.
was, is it the foundation,
You have the-
or is it
Yeah.
actually ledge?
It's actually
No,
ledge.
no, that showed you where the old house was.
On that second picture down on the front there,
Which one?
that one.
Okay. So that's a
That's
that's a bed, that's
all.
propping, propping, okay.
See ya.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do know some geology, guys. We don't generally see much ledge in Abington, so, you know, but it certainly happens on the South Shore. So
Yeah, I mean,
so
How many of them?
I don't know what to do here, because
well, I think.
we want something that's gonna grow, right?
Right.
So, you know, if there's rock under it, it's not gonna grow. So how do we, you know,
I think we're having a lot
Yeah,
of
we're having a lot
side
of-
conversations
Hey,
going on.
Paul. I think he just has a question of how many of those posts you want.
Three, I thought.
The signs
Three, yeah.
It was three.
Three.
and the size of them.
It's gonna look something like this. What do we say for size? 8.5 by 11, right?
8.5 by 11.
Huh? Okay, yeah, it's on the website too, on our regulations, but
Okay.
it's gonna basically be something like this, except it's gonna say,
In green, right?
In green.
Yep.
Green and white.
oh, yeah, okay.
So,
Yeah,
If you go to our website,
Yep.
the regulation page, it's under the
please, saying, what is
the
right?
setback regulation, right? That's where we put it.
I think it was setback.
Yeah, it's
describe
under
it.
the setback. The setback doesn't apply to you guys at this point, because it happened afterwards, but the sign
Asking.
description is there.
Okay, I get that straight.
So that's easy to look at when you get home.
I think it mentions granite.
Or
We
granite
said, no, we
or-
said granite or PT.
Or PT, yeah, we did both.
I said we don't wanna
That's
use
right.
PVC because it's gonna crack over time with the
Yeah.
sun. So it's PT or granite.
Yeah,
Okay.
applicant's choice.
Yeah. Mr. Thompson, where was the second picture taken? Showing the bedrock.
That's right at the base of the steep slope on the far end there.
So
Yep,
basically right,
over a little bit more, right in the middle.
okay, okay.
So is it a sheet of bedrock there? I mean,
My understanding is that's what it is.
so how much soil is on top of the bedrock?
Well, you have the wetland stuff at 112, and we go up 2 feet to the base of the slope.
There isn't really an issue with the grading over there anyways. The issue with the grading is more towards the front. The side of the house coming out to
Yeah.
the left.
But I also want to know that there's enough soil there for something to grow. Sorry. I don't-
Yeah.
Well, I'll let you know.
I hear there's bedrock that we can't overcome, but how much soil's on top, and, you know, I don't know, Ken.
Well, I think
Yeah,
that's
I
why they
know.
put,
This is new to me, so I.
that's why they put the
I would've
rip, that's why you put the riprap there, I'm assuming, right? Because you couldn't get the,
Stop the erosion, yeah.
because you couldn't get enough soil to grow anything.
But again, you know, you're talking about the 200-foot riverfront protection area, which goes right smack through here. There's riprap in it, there's stairs in it, there's a lawn in the riverfront protection area. That's a problem. That's an area you're supposed to stay out of.
Unless they redo the drawings and propose and keep themselves under the, they were allowed to go up to, you know, there's a percentage of how much you can redevelop in that 100 to 200-foot jurisdiction.
I think it's
And they gave us a
10%.
calculation. I think they had room, but we don't have drawings that reflect it either. Or calculations. She's right. We just, we need to decide what to do, but my general comment was, will stuff grow? Is there enough soil there to grow? This is the first time I heard there was bedrock there.
At some point, before we all started building, things were growing there.
Yeah.
Right.
point
And
is
the
what-
bedrock is over here, and that is a fact
Where,
because,
well, my question is, where is the bedrock? And I think I heard it was the whole area from.
No, the slope.
Just the slope is
That's
there?
what he told me, but
Okay,
that's
so the
where
rest of it is-
that's where John was working.
Okay, so this has bedrock right up here where the slope is.
Yeah.
But the rest of it is.
I'll,
not enough soil?
what I can do is I can just go down and pound down
Just
some
make sure there's
rebar,
enough there to grow.
and I'll tell you how much soil.
You know, do we need to consider, you know, do we have enough soil there? Because it was the foundation of the building was there, so
Yeah.
the natural soil might not be so good.
So bring in more soil.
They might have to,
Yeah.
or at least enough so that, I want this to be successful. And
Right. If you're gonna have a steep drop like that and using riprap, that's not the best thing for trying to do
I would have liked to seen
restoration.
a 3-to-1 slope there if we had been asked.
Yeah.
That would, and just stabilize, you know, bring in some soil and stabilize it. I know it's in the riverfront, but I would have preferred that.
Yeah.
Because that would long-term last.
Right. I mean, the original plan show a slope of about 3% starting from the street going into the riverfront, and now we have, it's all flattened out in the parking area, it's all flattened out around the house, and then you got this steep slope that's there, and you put riprap in, and that's just gonna cause the water to go really fast, and it's gonna be hard for things to grow with that increased velocity of water.
yeah.
And, yeah, I just,
What is it, 60-foot difference?
I don't know whether you just had the foundation, decide you didn't want to fill it in to get back to that slope that was already there.
These are questions I can't answer. 'cause I
Right,
wasn't
and I'm not,
You're not the.
you're
know,
the
I-
We
representative,
understand.
but
We're
I'm,
just trying to vocalize what our
Yeah.
issues are so
Yep.
that you guys know and you can bring it back. I think that was the point that Paul was making, that we really needed to talk to you because we had a lot of questions.
yeah,
And I think it's mostly because they didn't follow the plans nor talk to us as they built it. So now we're, you know, with the house that's built, but the wetlands that we're trying to protect are still in flux.
Now, since there's a lot of questions,
And, you know, the plan says it substantially complies with the approved plan, and the grading out front doesn't. I'm not gonna vote to approve partial or full COC unless we get somebody out there, whether we go the peer review route on our behalf to basically say that what they have done here is gonna work. I don't wanna have them, I don't wanna force them to rip it out just because they didn't follow our order of conditions. If what's here works, and somebody's willing, a PE's willing to say this will work, and function the way it's supposed to, the proposed plan was supposed to function, I'm fine with that.
you need to have,
But I don't wanna, I'm not gonna vote yes on something that we didn't get to vet properly, because they didn't follow the order of conditions. I'm not gonna do it. You guys might, but I'm not gonna do it.
we would need,
Because if something happens a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years from now, they're gonna say, Abington Concom approved it. And we're gonna say, yeah, we did. But did we do it, did we vet it properly? No, we didn't. So that's, since I looked at this grading, that's all I've thought about, is we should have somebody else independently go out there and verify that this will work.
Well, I think not only, you mentioned an engineer, but also there's a difference between will it work and will we have a biologist who will say this will work as well. So whether that's somebody who can do both of those roles,
Well, I think if you get one of the, like a peer reviewer we've used in the past, I think they can do that. They'll be able to tell us how the grading, if it's gonna function, if it's gonna be a detriment to the wetlands, or if it's gonna be equal to what we voted on in April.
right? I agree with you 100%.
I agree.
I also have, upon my own personal whim, reached out to a few that we used in the past to see what their availability was, because I know we're getting into the busy season. So there's a couple of different peer reviewers that we've used in the past. I could probably reach out to them and see if this is something.
What's their availability like? 'Cause if we can do it, I'd like to do something fast, because I'm sure they wanna get in there and start planting and
I can make a call tomorrow
okay.
and give you the information, but not to take away from that, but I do have other questions with regards to 154 Brockton Ave.
Do you guys need to vote on that?
Well, we'll vote on it after. Let's
Okay.
get the discussion out of the way in case
Yeah.
something changes.
Again, the placement of the conservation area signs is really important, especially for the person who bought the property, which leads me into my next question. We have a statement here that was given to us on February 8th by a gentleman named Keon Sprinkle, who was the purchaser. However, in the newspaper, it said it was bought by a LLC. Can anybody shed any light on that?
I don't know. I don't, he might
Because-
be part, he might be a member of the LLC.
I looked at the LLC and his name wasn't on it, so I don't, that's why I'm asking.
Okay. What's his name?
The statement we have that he was aware of the outstanding COC was Keon Sprinkle, but yet in the paper, it said it was bought by Tania Properties Limited Liability Company. And when I looked up the LLC on the Massachusetts website, it said Tia Hines, I think, and a Mr. Bronner, but nowhere did I see Mr. Sprinkle's name mentioned.
Huh?
So if there could be some clarification on that?
Yep. Yeah.
On the front slope, the front area, do you want me to do probes, drive some rod down, find out what bedrock's at?
I
Like I
think,
said, I want somebody, a third party, to look at it. I'm not gonna vote,
That's
I'm not
fine.
gonna vote yes on it till I have somebody else.
So it might be better to do it when you're out with the peer reviewer. That would probably save you some time.
Yeah, that's fine.
That would make sense.
We'll take it through the wet,
Yeah,
the
yeah, if
the
you're not-
wetland area and all that.
Yeah, yeah.
That way everybody's got
That'll be the
information.
easier way to do it.
It's information for
I
everybody.
know it's around the corner, but at least it saves you some time.
So the 3 conservation area posts that are going to be placed,
Does somebody wanna go out and just, whenever the restoration happens again, go out there and just pick the 3 spots?
I nominate Jean.
yeah. I think that's good.
Yeah,
okay?
Yeah.
I could walk
Just
there.
get up and speak at the podium.
Gene, that's his LLC.
That's Mr. Sprinkle?
Yep.
Okay,
And he's the manager.
Okay.
because his name wasn't listed on it in the Massachusetts link, that's why I was
And I
asking.
just reached out to the attorney.
Okay,
great. We just want to make sure we know who wants it at this point, so.
thank you very much. I appreciate that information. Mr. Burke.
One of the things that also concerns me here is that this isn't just a request for a partial certificate of compliance for an NOI. This is also an enforcement order that you guys were under. And we gave you a lot of very specific information, special order of conditions. There were at least, 62, 63 of them.
I think
And I don't,
67 or 68.
okay, so I know I wrote up a lot of them, so I don't remember the number, thank you. My concern is that You guys haven't been following them. You either read them and went whatever and followed what you wanted, or you didn't read them at all, and you're on an enforcement order. And I just don't understand
Well, we're here to correct.
why. Yeah, that's why
We're
you're
to
here
correct it.
now. But we have an enforcement order, and we have to decide what we're gonna do about that enforcement order. I think that we need to modify it and start putting in some timelines, because one thing that's disturbing me as well is all the delays that have been going on. And we have actually had a property in the past that had an enforcement order. They were taking their sweet time getting things done, and we started the process to begin to find them. So that is something I think that we should consider discussing tonight, whether we want to have a vote on starting the process of a formal warning for a fine.
Well, if we're gonna vote on a peer reviewer, we really can't give them a time until we know when the peer reviewer can come out.
True.
So, if anything, I would say the next meeting,
Okay.
we discuss it, and if we can get somebody out there in the next 2 weeks, either we have a quick meeting once we find out when they can get out there, and then go that route.
We could actually do a quick Zoom meeting too.
Yeah, because if we say we want action by April 19th, but we can't get a peer reviewer out there till April 27th,
Right.
Right,
Because
you know,
we'll be-
what good is it?
that's fine.
Okay.
But I want that to be something that we discuss coming up.
Yep.
We have to modify the enforcement order, I think, to reflect, the property has been sold, right?
Yes.
So I think are they supposed to be now on the enforcement order as well?
I'll have to reach out to Andrew, but I think they would be, and also, but the original applicant would be on there as the operator.
Okay. Okay. But I agree with you about partial certificate compliance. Nope. I'm a no on that.
Up and clear.
I mean, what was the point of the partial anyway, if the property's already been sold?
Well, usually when there's a mortgage or, financing associated with these, the attorneys generally, pretty much for every property in town, the attorneys are insisting on a certificate of compliance before they're allowed to have their mortgage. I don't quite know what the circumstances were here, but that's generally, the bank usually actually directs it. And in this case, it didn't happen for one reason or another, which makes me, I'm glad we have something from the current owner that he understands that he has to follow the wetlands regs, but I would hope that he would engage as well, make sure this gets done. Because for me, the partial certificate of compliance is not in substantial compliance with what was proposed earlier, and actually, I feel like it was just.
No, I get it. I mean,
nonsense.
they want to basically say that everything's done except for the monitoring of the wetlands.
Right, and the thing that matters to us is the protection of the wetlands.
Right.
I mean, the house, as far as we're concerned, except for where it lies, is of, less importance. It's more,
It's of no,
we want to protect our wetlands. and
Exactly,
that's
I
the
mean-
point of our certificate of compliance, unfortunately.
Sorry.
Oh, she's telling me I'm not on the mic, sorry
Oh.
about that. I'm pretty loud, so maybe you picked up on hers.
All right, so somebody want to make, I guess the first one will be if we want to do peer review. Nobody else wants to make the motion, I will.
okay. Go ahead.
I'll make a motion for peer review regards to the grading and restoration areas for 154 Brockton Ave.
And the monitoring,
We need monitoring too.
I would think. You have to at least until you reach 75% overall.
That's
That's what they have Mr. Thompson for.
Okay. All right. I'll second.
I just want to make certain, though, we need if, Mr. Thompson, you're going to be working on this, we need a lot more communication in the future.
Yeah, you'll
And
get it.
We don't have a
Like you said,
conservation agent, so I know that
That-
now that we're kind of, getting on your case about it,
That's all right.
but I would like to have some sort of quantitative things. I know in the order of conditions, we kind of briefly mentioned the number of reports that are generated, and one of them talks about the beginning of the restoration. So I really want to see as much detail as possible
That's fine.
when we get, when we get to the point where we're doing that restoration.
That's fine.
Which is what I said is, when we had the Zoom call, I said, you know, it's unfortunate that the restoration didn't take place, but a lot of the conditions that they missed, basically, they all fall into when they do the restoration again. So we just have to make sure that they're all followed, so that when they come in for the partial or the full COC, that we just buzz through it like every other one and just approve it.
Right, and we're happy to work with you. You know, it's not,
Absolutely.
you know, if you want to come in again and just, you know, talk to us for 10 minutes about a restoration plan, we'd be happy to do
Or
it.
even,
That's fine.
or even, it doesn't have to be a full board. You can call Tim and I, like, it's,
Or
you know.
you could talk to Dr. Mullen directly, you know?
Just email us or something, just have a conversation.
All right.
I mean,
That's not a problem.
anybody that comes before this commission or that has a question, ask them. Somebody will get out there that day or the next day to
That's fine. That's fine. That's good.
get a resolution. So, there's a motion on the table in a second.
Yep.
Yep.
A
All
second.
those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Unanimous. So do we want to continue to the 27th?
We're going to shoot for that.
All right.
Depends on the peer
Yeah,
reviewer.
we'll be in touch.
You know, who is going to be the peer reviewer? Do you know? Who do you
Chance to
use?
call and see who she can get the fastest.
We've used LEC in the past,
That's fine.
and now we have BSC also, so
Yeah.
I'll reach out to LEC.
That's fine.
Yep.
All right, so I want to make a motion to continue.
I'll make a motion to continue, oh my God, what's the number? I missed it. 084
553.
553 until the April 27th meeting.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you
you.
very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Burke.
All right, next up, emergency certification for tree removal at 95 Nile Street. So this kind of ties in with site walks too. Was it Tim,
Yes.
Lynn, and Kathy? Went out on a site walk last Thursday.
Yeah.
Yes.
I had received an email, or Tim and I received an email on Saturday or Sunday last week. Saturday about two dead trees on the property that posed a threat to the, I guess, the inhabitants of the property. So you guys went out and did a site walk on it, and we can talk about the sidewalk after, but I said, as far as the trees go, if they think it poses any threat to anybody living over there, cut them down. So I'm gonna give them permission to cut the trees down, but that's it. Stump removal, grinding, whatever, that's gonna happen after. I just wanna remove the threat to anybody on the property.
I think that's, I understand what your point is, and I am in agreement with that piece. However, I still want to see them do the filings, and
No, I'm gonna
before-
put a whole list of conditions. It's just basically
Yeah,
cut the
I-
tree, that's it. Everything else needs to be done the way you guys talked about
right.
at the site walk.
Yeah, and I would want them to tell you how they're going to take the trees down. They must know at this point.
Well, that's one, I'm gonna say I wanna have somebody from the commission go out there,
And see, yeah, because, you know. if
give us the
they're-
plan, and then we'll
There's-
have somebody out there.
Yeah, and do it as quick as they can.
Yep.
I understand that piece, that we don't want, you know, the tree falling on anybody.
Yep.
But I still would like to see the follow-up paperwork, the request for determination for the
Yep.
emergency, and also the notice of intent for the plantings that they want to do, which our tree reg requires, so. And
You
I
guys wanna
think,
discuss the rest of the site walk now?
yeah. How many trees did they want to take down in all, Tim?
I think there was 3 hazard trees, and then there was probably 3 that wouldn't be hazard, so I was thinking a total of 6. Does that sound right, Lynn?
I think there were definitely 3, for sure. There
For
was
the
a
hazard
bigger
ones?
one, and that were definitely the hazard ones. They did express, like, before we even really had a big conversation with them, they expressed a lot of interest in planting additional trees. So we didn't really even have to say, hey, no,
Right.
cut down a tree. They were asking for where can we plant them? They want to have not only the big pines shading there, but they also want to have, for the rest of the property, have, a lot more screening going in. They asked about what types of trees, their placement, and I noticed there's a couple of conservation commissions that have really nice guides to, like, the type of species you can plant and all that. So I said I would send Tony an email. Oh, thank you. I would send Tony an email with some of those guides and something we could consider making our own in the future. So I thought I was great. I was really happy to hear that. They also mentioned, what was it that was crumbling?
A footing on the deck, but I think they were gonna put that in the RDA as well.
Yeah.
So the RDA was gonna cover the footing and then an NOI for the tree plantings and then anything else that because they had talked about doing an addition as well. So if they're gonna do that, they'll put that through an NOI as well.
Yeah.
Right.
And the emergency order specifically for hazard trees only, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a bunch they wanna take
Yeah.
down, but just the ones that are.
So it'll be what, you said 3 of them? Okay.
Right. And one of them did have like wishbones up there in
Oh,
the
yeah.
tree, so,
Yep.
and I think they had an arborist, I think you said. I missed that part, but there was an arborist who would agree that they were dead.
Somebody want to make a motion for the emergency tree cutting?
I'll make a motion for 95 Nile Street emergency certification of tree removal.
Second that?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I abstain.
Okay. Next site visit, Alex and Jean did last Friday.
So, me and Gene went out to Dependable Tree, I believe it's on Randolph Street, Route 139. We looked at the property and some wetlands. There was 2 wetlands we looked at. Wetland number 1 was straight down the driveway on the property. And we looked at the wetland off to the right behind some wood chips. I got some pictures if somebody wanted to see it. I didn't get the pictures of the second wetland. I can get those, we need them. We walked the property with the owner of the Dependable Tree and the owner of
841.
841 Randolph Street. We walked the property and we noticed that there was some wood chips, a machine, and some debris within the 100-foot buffer of that first wetland, as we, on the pictures. We also noted in the wetlands there was some standing water. I would say like maybe a little vernal pool or something of water in the wetlands. And the wood chips were going into the wetland, and there was a machine sitting on top of the wood chips, and there was some equipment off to the side. We just asked the owner, the property owner, or the owner of Dependable Tree to move the wood chips back, the equipment away from. There was some other metal and debris off to the right near the wood chips. We asked him to move that as well. That was the first wetland. Second wetland was off to the left behind 836 Randolph Street. We noticed that kind of went down an embankment, and there was a stream kind of behind 836 Randolph Street. We noticed some huge logs that were cut down the embankment. It looked like from like snow plowing maybe, or like
It looked like it
the
was all.
front end loader, like push some,
Pushed it?
yeah, bulldoze, like towards the wetlands. That was also in the 100-foot buffer, and there was some, I believe he's selling some logs. He split a bunch, it was like a log pile of split wood. I asked him to move that as well. And then we asked how long this would take him to move all this stuff, and he said about a week. I asked him to get in contact with Tony when he was all finished removing that stuff, and we'll have another site walk. We also made recommendation that he should hire a wetland scientist to delineate the wetlands for him, so he knows where the wetlands are. And I don't know, do you have anything to add to it?
You covered it all. That's pretty much it.
Did you guys look this up on Mass
And,
Mapper?
Yeah, I did bring a picture, a printout of Mass Mapper with the wetlands, and that was our guide, because there's actually a little storage shed, and you could see it on Mass Mapper, so he knew exactly where we were and what direction we were going off to. The wetland to the left as you go into the drive, where a lot of the deadfall that you saw
Yeah.
that was bulldozed in was approximately 27 feet from the wetland.
and then, the first wetland, he said that he cleared that land about a year ago. He cleared all that land away where the wood chips are stored right now. Cleared that, I asked him how long ago was this cleared. He said, I cleared it about a year ago. And he seemed like he was very on board with, moving
Yeah.
the stuff, and it was like really
He
no
was
issues
very
out.
agreeable, yeah.
I will definitely put a list together, we can send it to the owner of the property, just what we talked about, and then go forward.
So when do we want to set up a site walk, follow-up site walk to make sure everything's been done? Said it would take them a week, so it'd be a week
Yeah,
from,
give it a week.
Friday would be a week?
Yeah,
Yeah, probably anytime before the next meeting.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, he's gonna be there, yeah. What time? No, we're talking about, yeah.
So did you see the stream on that he mentioned on the,
Um,
on,
off to the left there.
Off to the left, it was.
was it on the Mass Mapper, or, do you remember?
I don't have Mass Mapper with me,
So
but
we gave him
I'm
a
trying to look
picture
it
of
up.
it.
Yeah.
it looked more like a
A little brook or something, or?
riverlet or something, you know, it wasn't really a
We'll take next
wide
week.
flowing stream, but you
Next
could
week.
see that there was water.
Oh, that's right.
The address is 836?
841, I mean,
41.
841,
So the second wetland backs up to 836.
yeah. So let me see if I still have it.
841.
Wait a minute.
So what day do we want to do the site walk next week?
Be next week.
Yeah,
Here it is.
Monday's a holiday.
I just did
So
the
we talking about
I didn't get
24th,
into the
25th that week?
screen,
No,
but you
next
can
week.
see
So
there.
18th, 19th, 20th, 21st.
Yeah.
Oh, you said a
Just
week,
have to
right?
do
And you went on
Yeah.
Friday?
So it'd have to be
You can
after
see
the
the wood
21st.
pile shavings were here.
Right.
And then over here, this is where the little water area
It'd
was.
have to be after the
And it was
21st.
841.
Oh, it'd have to be after the 14th. 14th is
Yeah,
one
and
week.
again, I
Oh,
just
yeah.
did the overlay.
Okay.
Yeah, I get it.
When you, I mean, Gene, you wanna
When-
find
when-
out?
Sure,
Look at it?
sure.
What day can you guys go next week?
Wanna do it
Then if
Friday?
anybody else can go,
Well, we can do Friday.
Friday work for
so
everyone?
the 21st?
Yep.
Don't we get everyone to go? Like 4 o'clock seem reasonable?
5 would work better.
Alright, let's do 5. So
Okay.
21st.
Hopefully he's had time to move everything. If not,
We'll give them an extra week.
yep.
Yeah.
All right, is that it about that site walk?
No, we actually got a complaint for the place across the street too.
Well, it's not about that site walk.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
So complaint about the property across the street?
Yes.
You want to give Tony the property address and she can try and set something up for that?
Sure. If I could find it.
I can do it.
You can do it after the meeting.
Okay.
So the last site walk, also, the only permit we did in the last 2 weeks was for 9 Hunts Pond Lane. It's for addition, right? Call it?
In-law.
In-law, yeah. So what happened was, building department emailed us for a permit. Tim and I looked at the plans, and it showed some of the building being in the 100-foot buffer, like, it was like, what, 10 feet?
Something like that, yeah.
So we told them we're gonna hold off on that permit, you gotta come in for an RDA. Come to find out that the former building inspector filled out a permit without letting us
Oh, my.
review it.
Now,
So-
Hunts Pond came in as a development. I don't know that I was on the commission at the time, I'm not sure, but it came in as a subdivision.
Yep,
And as the subdivision, you do the roadway and the stormwater, and then the lots individually, as they build, they need to determine whether they need a certificate, filed for the wetlands, and right there, it was pretty wet, from what I remember.
It
So,
wasn't that bad, and
what, well, yeah, but I'm talking, the overall
Yeah.
subdivision, I'm sure they worked through it, but I guess my point is that somehow, it was years ago, so somehow it got lost in translation that, because typically that's how we do them, individual lots for the subdivision. So, it's a shame, because now we're in this, trying to figure out how to backfill what happened. Sounds like at least it's,
well, thankfully, the building department did reach out to us this time.
Fortunately, yeah.
Unfortunately, the digging took place.
Yeah, the site work was.
yeah, but now we have a house with, a yard and,
No, the house is built a long time
Okay, so what
ago.
is-
This was just an in-law.
Yeah.
okay,
The foundation was put in beginning of March.
okay.
So we went out there, I mean, there's no evidence whatsoever of any sort of erosion or anything running towards the wetlands, so.
So they're gonna do an
It's-
RDA still, though, or?
No, it's-
Okay,
It's already, the house is probably in place now.
Oh.
the addition,
Yeah.
right? The house was already there. So,
Sounds like it.
this is the problem with certificate of compliances, I'm sorry, orders of conditions not necessarily following, as multiple homeowners. It's just one of those things that, I'm not sure how to deal with it, but it's a problem for us. Gets lost.
It does.
That's it for site visits and permits. Meeting minutes.
Thank you.
Anybody have any questions on February 28th?
No.
Anybody have any questions on March 28th?
I actually do have a question on 28.
Which
when
one?
is that bridge-
March or February?
February 28th. When is that, treatment getting done again? Do we know?
Have they given us a date? No.
They haven't? Okay.
Thought it was this month or next month?
Yeah.
I thought they said April, May.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it depended on their, the way the weather was.
They're gonna
the
do
weather
they have
and
to do a
what they-
survey beforehand and
Yeah.
everything, yeah.
Yeah, and they're gonna put up signs
Yeah.
and I
And
think do some
notification to
notification
the
before they
abutters.
actually do it.
Anything on the 28th of March? Someone want to make a motion to approve all minutes?
June 20th March.
I'll make a motion to approve
Still someone at 28th.
March 28th, 2023, the minutes,
And February 28th?
and February 28th,
There's March.
2023.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll
Have a
second.
second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, unanimous. Tony, can you reach out to, the,
Cancel tree, I knew that's what you were talking about.
This wasn't one on the second photo.
oh, okay.
I'll say what I have to say later.
Can you reach out to DPW and say, because I saw signs up for the bridge project over on Central, and see when they're gonna start that, because I think there's supposed to be some sort of pre-con meeting with us beforehand. So just set something up with Tim and I.
It's good that it's getting done.
Yeah.
It is.
Anybody have any correspondence?
No.
Oh, we have MACC sent out an email about classes coming up. I don't know if everybody was copied on the email from Mr. Wigglesworth.
I got it.
I did too.
I got
Okay.
it.
I saw what you sent Tony with the list of all the webinars and stuff we could attend. I was like, oh my God, this is
There's
fantastic.
also
This is so
a town,
fantastic.
the town meeting,
Has-
town manager sent out some?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that today, yeah. Has everybody reached out to Tony as far as the DEP training?
I already took the Mass Mapper training, so
Oh, okay.
I did not, but I am going to.
so I.
I gotta reach out. I have not.
What days work best for you guys? Do you want the 26th at 5?
Yes, please.
Actually, is that?
That's the one I asked.
Wait.
No, 27th's on the meeting.
I can't do the 26th.
Okay. Is there another day?
Or 20 at 5, I believe it does.
Is that
Is
Thursday?
this Zoom meeting, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it doesn't matter, I can do it.
It doesn't, I have baseball
it
practice.
was really
that night.
helpful.
I
when I
Yeah,
did it.
because
There's just a lot of little things that are in there.
meeting on the
there is, and, I mean,
Or
I
is it
just.
tomorrow?
feel
Yeah, it's gonna be 1 hour.
around.
Do we want to do the 27th before our meeting?
Sure.
Yeah,
That works great, yeah.
yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, we could do it, you could do it on the screen here.
Yeah.
Oh, we
Sorry,
can all be
Tony.
sitting
What,
here.
what, Tony? Tony, but it's wrong.
What time's it gonna be at?
5 o'clock.
Excellent.
Well, and that was one of the dates that was on his list. I
Yep.
can't remember.
So,
You put it on your list.
This is true. This is true.
Because I know he gave a lot of dates. Oh, thank you.
That was on Michael's list.
so we have our.
Full list that I completely forgot.
Yeah, and then the one that town
So is
manager
that,
sent
that
us
was, you
Yeah,
can
the hours
do
at the town hall.
the open meeting.
Do you want me to reach out to him?
Public
What was the? what was
participation.
You're gonna reach
It's
out?
very interesting. I think that
Pull
would.
up my
okay.
emails for some reason.
Yeah, he's not back till the 18th.
Oh, there we go.
His vacation.
Didn't we do
Yeah.
that last year? though?
Scott sent an email today about public records and open meeting law class.
It's very
on-
interesting, Paul, because it is about actually public speaking, you know, when the public speaks and.
What are you saying, I don't do a good job?
No, I'm not saying that, but it is, there was a court ruling and because someone is expressing their opinion vehemently, isn't necessarily, you're able to shut them down, you have to let them speak. You know, there's some freedom of speech thing here, and I think it will be an interesting seminar from the court case.
Yeah.
I think we're fine, I think we let people speak, and I think we're fine, but I think it's something to pay attention to.
Yeah.
I
Good, so
thought it was
that-
very interesting, actually, when I looked at it.
That's next Tuesday from 12 to, I'm sorry, no, a week from Tuesday, 2 weeks from today, from 12 to 1:15 PM.
Oh, I
That is-
can't attend
yeah,
that either.
it is.
I'll be eating a
We
sandwich.
can give you the lowdown.
Yeah,
Oh, so-
yeah.
What day is that on? The 25th?
I think it was the 25th.
Ay, ay, ay.
It's gonna be a busy
That's
week.
all I have. Anybody have anything else?
I just want to say congratulations to Alex and Tim and
Thank you.
Paul
We did it at the
for,
last meeting.
I know, but we're going to have a celebration at the
You
next
guys weren't
meeting.
included yet,
Yeah,
so,
it wasn't here.
we gotta make it known, you know?
Yeah, so
get-
congratulations. Yay.
Thank you.
Congratulations. So we'll have cupcakes next meeting.
Maybe
All right.
Yeah, I can't be the only one that's get recognized, you know?
Yeah.
Any NOIs that we need to look at? No?
Oh, the ANRAD checklist,
Next meeting.
next meeting? Okay. So I created an ANRAD checklist.
Somebody want to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous.